All right, guys, welcome back. Another episode of College Coach's Corner. We're back in the junior college level. We're going to take a trip to Texas this time. We're here with head coach Byron Coleman, and he's head coach of Angelina. Coach has been there for about 20-plus years, and he's been holding down the fort ever since. Coach, how you doing during all this virus madness?
Oh, good. I'm good. Just trying to stay level-headed and fight this cabin fever. I'm not go crazy too much, sitting in the house too much. My wife got these honeydew lists for me to do. Now I got to get them caught up now.
Of course, man. We can't hide from that no more. I know the feeling for sure, man. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself? Of course, like I said, you've been there for 20-plus years, had a lot of success, and really been turning it on here lately. I feel like you guys are in one of the toughest regions in the junior college level, especially closest to us over here in Louisiana, man. So go ahead and take the lead with that.
Like I say, been here at Angelina. I'm from here. I'm from East Texas. I'm from Diboll, Texas, which is the town just 10 miles over. Went to school here. I have an associate's degree from here. Been coaching here, like I say, since 90 as an assistant coach. Kind of weird. I walked into this. I didn't expect to coach basketball. I was like anybody in Texas. I wanted to coach football. And so started filling around with some AAU stuff with a buddy of mine named Larry Alexander, and got into basketball and got offered a job here in 98 to assist, and then took over in 2005. My former coach, his name's Coach Coleman too. He retired, like I say, in 2005 when I took over for him. He coached 24 years here. So I'm just trying to catch up with him.
No doubt, huh? Well, let's jump before we kind of get into it, man. I got to ask a tough question that we try to ask everybody. Flashback to, I think you said 98 or whenever it was that you were the first time head coach, early 2000s. Who was the first coach you felt like out-coached you in a game?
Ooh. Oh, man. I don't know. That's a tough one. Not saying I haven't been out-coached. I've missed some sleep on some nights, wondering there's some things could have done differently, but I don't know about out-coached as much as just I'll say outmanned, man, playing the Trinity Valley teams from the early, the late 90s, early 2000s with, Kurt Bucky, man, those teams were vicious. That's when, there were a lot of high-level Division I kids, particularly, at a school like Trinity Valley, they'd have 3 Power 5 post kids, that would play in the NBA, WNBA and stuff like that. So like I said, I won't necessarily say out coach, but just it was tough coaching back then when you walked in the gym and be like, okay, let's try not to get beat by 25. let's try to get out of here with nobody hurt. Let's try to get it back to Lufkin as fast as we can. So I won't say out coach, but just when you walk in the gym and just know, man, this is gonna be tough on us. And there was just some nights where, you might have got beat 40. Just like you just walked out the gym. All right, here, let's go get our burgers and go home.
No doubt, man. They had some studs coming off the bench that could help a lot of other teams.
Exactly.
So kind of moving with that along the lines, man. So you kind of built the program, got it rolling, and keeping it ahead in the right direction. I get a question a lot of times, where should I be at to get seen by college coaches? What advice could you give to high school coaches, AAU coaches, prospective student athletes? Where can they go for, I guess, you to see? And on the other side of that, when does that process start for you? At what age are you starting to look for kids?
Junior college is a little different. We normally for the most part, we try to start that junior year, but when I go to tournaments, I don't watch too many freshmen. I may watch it, just not, but it's hard for us to recruit that far ahead. So we're always just kind of watching, those juniors, and then start that process. Then I don't get too far ahead. It's just for us, the resources are not there, but also too, the resources have changed. Probably what I'll say on that, where I used to hit the road. Like Louisiana, I used to hit that road hard in Louisiana recruiting. Back in the, when I first got hired, my coach said, man, go to Louisiana. That's where the players at. And what it was, it just wasn't a lot of junior college there. BRCC hadn't started a program over there. Mike Landers at Trinity Valley started that. Started the program at BRCC. Paula's been there for a while. There was nothing down there. There was no schools down there. I was the only fully scholarship junior college from here to New Orleans. And
Gotcha.
so I used to just get in the car, go down there and just go to every tournament, West St. Mary's, the big tournament at the Lario, swoop down through Houma. They would just go down there and you could just see them. And those kids were just happy somebody saw them. Today, the game has changed where nobody has to go down there. We can get a huddle video in 2 minutes. Where it used to be, I call a coach, hey, coach, I need a tape. Got a dub of VHS tape. Got to go mail a VHS tape. It'd be 2 weeks before I get the film. So now we can process more players just through huddle. Huddle is just humongous now. It's made the information. So there's times when we don't go out. Just send me the film, send me the tape. And I'd rather be home. I could be home with my family, sit on the couch, watch it on my phone, watching a kid. If you don't watch 2 or 3 games and save that time that I was out and be here. So we get a lot more work done in the office. So like I say, we get out to a few tournaments in the summer, try to plant the base, see what's going on. And then after that, we just, kind of stay on the wire and, senior report, y'all are putting the rankings out. So y'all do a lot of the legwork for us. And we just got to go follow up and just get the videos and see, is this a kid we like? Does this kid fit our program? So it's different. Recruiting's totally changed just in the last 7-8 years. It's just totally changed.
No doubt, man. Like to your point, so we're talking about like investments, I guess, and high school coaches for sure. You'd be surprised. We have a lot of high school coaches that actually don't film, don't have the huddle or whatnot for whatever reason, man. Like here we are, we're talking about like you're trying to get your kids recruited. That's probably the single most important thing. Like you're saying, like A, highlight films, of course, but B, you got to have hard video and just be able to snap your fingers and boom, it's in all the college coaches' hands, man. That's a great point, and it's definitely worth the investment, in my opinion.
I mean, if a high school coach doesn't have a camera, there's a problem within itself. There's a problem within itself. If you can't spend $150, $200 on a camera and then upload a game, and then like you say today, even with Huddle send you an iPad for free. You just decide, like I say, so you can't say, oh, I don't have nothing to record it on. So just technology has just changed the game. So yeah, I think 75-80% of the coaches out here do a pretty good job of trying to get those kids exposed. There's 25% though that don't film or don't load. Or, Max Preps has been a good avenue just to go check a kid's stats. How did they play that night? How did they, and we watch those things here. I'm looking at a kid. If you say, hey, coach, I got a kid that's hitting 17 a game, and I go look at the kid, we look at, well, is she shooting 30% from the field? We want to see those field goal percentage numbers. What those numbers? So those things are very important and stuff, and coaches need to get out here and really invest in those kids. And those are simple things. Again, it's no longer I got to go take a film to the post office. I got to go buy VHS tape, or I got to go buy DVDs. I bought probably 6 years ago, I bought 2 DVD players so I could dub DVD. We don't need those things anymore.
Exactly, man.
We don't need those things anymore. So anybody that's not doing it, and they got players that got that potential to go to the next level, yeah, they're doing a little bit of injustice to the kids a little bit.
No doubt, man. No doubt. So kind of let's jump into the next part. Like you're getting a lot more eyes on kids than you probably normally would, right? With the video and everything. How do you comb through that? Character-wise, are you looking at character just based off of reputation, watching them on the film, how they're on the bench, social media? What are you doing to kind of comb through all those videos?
Like I say, we try to tell kids social media is very important. We're going to watch, we're definitely going to watch those films and watch those mannerisms. But then, like you say, you want to go to, sometimes you go to a kid's Twitter account and Facebook account to see, see the other side. What is this kid going to be like off the court? So we always tell our kids, we warn our kids here of social media things that people are just not going to look at the film. They want to know a little bit about you. We don't get to comb into the background as much, like I say, as the D1s. A lot of these D1s are recruiting kids from the freshman year, sophomore year. And so, like I said, we may not pick them up to their junior year. So we're doing a quick comb through, maybe checking some social medias and things like that. But like I say, it's just so much information out there. And a lot of these kids, they're just posting their own highlights on and posting their own videos. So they've got the access to market themselves, really well out here today too.
Good and bad. They can market
Yes,
themselves good and bad.
exactly.
So, you've been at the junior college level in the same school for 20 plus years. What are some benefits in JCAA, junior college? What are some benefits, your school in particular, or just junior college in particular? Why? I mean, here in Louisiana, we think junior college, you have to have bad grades. Like, what's some benefits? What's some good side of things? What's some challenges y'all go through?
Well, we just, first of all, we just try to market Angelina. We think it's a great school, great program, great facilities. We have one of the better gyms, I think, in the country. And most people don't even know our gym's 20 years old. We moved into my gym in 99, Christmas of my first year here. And most people think our gym is 7, 8 years old. This is 20 years old now. But, it's just, it's a good place to be. It's a good place to start. But, we have kids, but like I said, that stigma of grades, again, is always there. And I probably, like I said, for my team, it's probably half and half. I have half my kids are qualifiers and the other half are not. So we try to go out and recruit, everybody. We don't just, there's some kids that want to come here. There's some kids that just want to stay close to home. I had a good question from a recruit the other day. What's the percentage of your kids to go Division I or graduate? Excuse me, it was graduate. And, I may say this may hurt me, but if it does, I can care less. I don't graduate 100% of my kids because I got 100% of my kids sometimes don't care to graduate.
Yeah.
I got a kid right now that's a 4.0 student. She's transferring on to the next school to go get her education and meet her major. So graduation wasn't the important thing. I've got another kid, one of our better shooters, Brittany Thompson. She'll probably graduate, but it ain't that important. She wants to stay close to home, and so she's going to sign at LSU Shreveport. She could have probably went Division I, but if she graduates, she might not. She's had some family situations. Her mother passed, and there's some kids we got that's not the most important thing as far as, so we want our kids to graduate. We'll graduate 2 or 3 kids this year, but do we get 100%? No, because I don't have 100% of my kids that have that ambition. We put our kids here to go where they can go be successful, whether that's NCAA Division I, 2, or 3, NAIA, or like I say, whatever level is about our kids being successful. We got very few kids that have come here that are probably going to be pro basketball players. Now, Natasha Mack from last year, she's going to be a pro.
Yeah, she ain't bad, Coach. She ain't bad, man.
But, we just got kids here that really want to come here and be successful. We have 2 or 3 that really want to move on to that ambition of being in the league and want to go Division I. Taisha Smith, that our lead scorer this year, that transferred from Seton Hall, she's a big-time player. She wants to be a Division I player. So we're doing everything in our power to help her be successful. But that's not necessarily what we push here. If they want it, we're going to do everything in our power here to help them and lead them in the right direction. But if a kid says, Coach, I don't want to go to summer school, I want to go home and be with my family, then we may give them that option and let them do that if that's what we need. Now, if the grades are not where they need to be, we're going to say, hey, bring your butt back to summer school. We need to get you back on track. Yeah. We'll do that. But, so we approach that here a little bit different. We have some local kids here that their ambitions are totally different than some that are trying to get to the high level.
Yeah, no doubt. I like that. That's pretty cool. It kind of leads me to the next spot, scholarships, opportunities. We talked to a lot of NAI. So NAI is, I don't know if you know, but they just passed legislation where they're going to 8 full scholarships so they can combine D1, D2. We talked to some junior colleges. We talked to some Division III where they don't allow any or don't offer any athletic scholarships. How is it at your school and junior college in general?
As far as
athletic scholarship opportunity.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, like I said, we offer fulls, we offer parts. We have a whole array of what we might do financially. Like I say, majority of my team are on full scholarships. Full scholarships outside of Pale, and then like I said, we have kids that are on parts that use part of their Pale to pay for their classes. So it's just whatever. It's still, no matter what level, NAI, D2, whatever, it's still a budget. It's still a salary cap. we have to, play with the numbers and move the numbers and move for needs. Our needs this year are point guards. We're losing 3 point guards. So that's our area of concentration. So we might have to push those fulls more in that area, depending on the player and things like that. So like I said, we got an array of scholarships that we're able to offer our kids.
Cool, man. That's that was been a learning experience for myself. I came from the Division I level, 5 years there, where it's just all or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get 15, get all or nothing, to where, we talked with NAIA, local NAIAs, and they're at 8, but they're still carrying 15 or maybe even 16
Right.
kids. So it's kind of cool to see, like you said, at the end of the day, it's numbers, it's a budget, and you're kind of splitting it up. And another thing that I've come along, trying to help a couple kids get on late, FAFSA. Can you talk a little bit about that and the importance of that coming from you guys? Like, if you know a kid's going to qualify for Pell, it's going to help you a lot more, or in general, kind of make that decision on a player.
Yes. Like I say, FAFSA is very important. Like I say, to fill that out. I mean, that's money. I mean, FAFSA is up to like $6,000 and stuff. So, like I say, those scholarships, we have to be real careful with them. We got to be real careful with these scholarships coming out of this, coronavirus. I don't know where, budgets are going to go across the country with this. So there's going to be some adjustments throughout the areas. I don't know. We hadn't heard much here, but you never know. They're going to try to balance these budgets. I imagine some places Pell is going to be where they're going to try to balance them at. So those are very important that kids fill those out and stuff. And one thing I'd say here, there was something my president told us here. He said scholarships, applying for scholarships is important. He says we have hundreds of thousands of dollars here in Angelina. And I imagine there's probably a lot of schools that nobody gets because nobody applies for it.
Wow.
There may be a scholarship that's over here and they have to just write an essay for it. So there's more than just filling out the FAFSA. There's going in and applying for certain scholarships that may be under your major that nobody, they say here, nobody touches because they may look at, nobody applies for it to go. It's again, could be write an essay, write a half-page paper, tell us why you want to go to school, tell us why you want to major in this, and it may be $1,500, $1,000 attached to that. But they say people don't apply. So they're pushing people to go out there, no matter where you go to school at, apply for that money.
Yep, man. Do your homework, like you said. It's just out there. You just gotta find it, and you just gotta do the right stuff. Come up with the right steps. That's great information. I got a good friend of mine. He's gonna be a Division III assistant coach, and he was talking about a lot of the different opportunities that kids have. I mean, there's even like grants if you go to a church and you're in the church and you go to the church, or if you work, like there's all kinds of grants. That's big time information right there. As far as back on y'all season from the junior college level, what is like a fall program workout or spring, like whenever y'all are done? What does that normally work out rules-wise? I know y'all are a little bit more open. As far as Angelina, what does that look like?
Like I say, junior college, it's a little, it varies. We're not as stringent at the D1. They don't, it's not set, do this. They're real strict as far as the number of hours here. We're really early part of the year for us is just lifting weights and conditioning and skill work. That's what we're doing in the first couple of weeks. And then October 1st is kind of the official day of practice where everything, you can, go on. And that's when we start our weekend workouts and stuff. But even here at Angelina, we work out, 5 days a week. But we only go to school 4 days a week. So we don't go to school on Fridays here. So we do Friday morning. There's always something for us Friday morning, condition and run. I run outside, go to the park, condition in the volleyball sand. We try to be creative here, on Fridays just to break the monotony up of the week, But, here we get up in the mornings on Tuesday, Thursday, about 7:30. Then our kids go to class at 8 o'clock on Tuesday, Thursday. We lift weights in the morning. And so we don't lift two of them. I'm not too much of a morning. I'm not that 5 a.m. kind of guy. So we lift about 7:30. Then our kids go to class at 9:30, the ones that have class. And then throughout the day, there may be some individuals and stuff. And then we come back later that day for skill work and conditioning and things like that. So we slow roll here at Angelina. I'm a little different. I don't run my program like everybody else. But, girls are different. Burnout's big with freshmen. And so we really try to pace ourselves here and try to prepare. We try to be ready November 1st. We're not trying to win the race, on September 5th. We're trying to win the race and be ready to jump out the blocks on November 1st. So we slow roll into it and get the kids acclimated. And particularly if you don't have kids here in the summer, You got some kids to show up. You'll have two kids that'll show up. They ain't done nothing all summer. And so you're trying to get them up to speed a little bit and things like that here.
Basketball is a long season too, man. Long season.
It is a grind. It is definitely a grind. And it's like, say, it's really like a couple of parts to preseason. Then it's the beginning of the season. And then for us at the junior college level, Christmas is a whole nother animal because we may be off 2 or 3 weeks.
Wow.
You know, where at the D1 level, most of the time, they're off about 4 or 5 days.
Correct.
We're off 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. So we usually, I think this year played our last game on December 10th. And then we didn't report back to January 1st.
Wow.
This is the first year I didn't play on the 1st of January. Normally we play, there's some classics at McLennan. There was one at Shreveport this year, a huge one, big one. Bossier did a fabulous job hosting a big-time class with a bunch of national ranked teams. We were supposed to come. We pulled out. It was the first year that I didn't report back until, January 1st, where we normally report back December 27th. And we did this year, what we did was just try to have 6 days of practice before we played our first game. Normally when we play those classes, we don't get about 3 days of practice, maybe 4. Some schools come back maybe the 26th of December. Man, it's tough on them kids to come back the day after Christmas, at this level. So we pushed this year and went January 1st. We're going to do it again hopefully next year, come back on January 1st, work out 6 days in a row to get ready for our next conference game coming back. So
cool.
A lot of difference here than at the other level. And then your kids are off that long, the conditioning is just gone. So it's almost like you're trying to get back.
Yeah.
Worked hard since October and September to turn around and lose a lot of that in 3, letting them off for 3 weeks. So I think we're going to play an extra game this year.
Season 2 with the conference going.
Right. And we're going to play an extra game this year after final. I think we're going to play Jamie over there at LSU. We're going to play them like on the 16th or 17th and try to stretch it out a little longer and stuff. I know he usually stays, so we're going to play over at Eunice this year, try to extend it a little bit before Christmas, but still come back on the 1st.
Cool, man. So you've been at the junior college level and you've been at the same school for over 2 decades now, man. Why and what do you enjoy about coaching at the junior college?
I'm at a good place. I'm at a place where we've been successful. We've won. Now it's a tough place. Don't get me wrong. It's a tough league. So, I know there's some other leagues I could have been in and had some teams that we could have won, 4 or 5 or 6 conference championships. But we've had that animal down there in Athens back in the day. That point was a serious, and they're still really good. They were number 1 this year, but we're very competitive now in this league. So it's a good place that I feel like when I'm from here, like I said, my wife's from about 60 miles down the road. And I always wanted to move up and be, it was a point in my life where I did want to move up and be a D1 coach and move up the ranks, and then, get a little older and your family gets, family gets up there. I have 2 older kids and I have 2 kids at home. My daughter is she's a sophomore this year. She's a basketball player. My son's 12. He's a basketball player, football player. So got to the point where you don't want to miss a lot of things with your family. And so that part became more important with me, that, get here and then you like, it's now I'm not moving up or I'm not moving. I'll stay right here as long as I can until my kids, and try to be there for my kids as much. I miss a lot of games, but I try to make as many as I can too, though. So it's more or less family for me, being around for my kids and being able to enjoy to watch them and excel. And they're both pretty talented kids, so I enjoy watching them play.
No doubt, man. I feel that for sure. That's the reason why I got out of into high school, man. My little 2-year-old, he's taking a nap right now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Last question, really. Is there anything you want to leave with potential student athlete, high school kids particularly, as they're trying to navigate this recruiting process? I feel like in Louisiana we have a big problem with the waiting game, where these kids are just waiting and waiting and waiting. Like we're here in April 14th today. The second signing period, late signing period is technically right now. The kids are still waiting on the D1s to come along. Is there any type of advice, either that or something else, that you want to share with them leaving us?
Louisiana is different from Texas, so to speak, in the past at times when I recruited. I think, there's again, some of it I think has to do with there's not as many junior colleges there like it is here. Then some of it could just be, the choose my words carefully, but again, the importance of some of the levels. Jamie's went over here at LSU and had a great first year, and Eunice has been very respectable. Paula does some good things over at Baton Rouge, but Baton Rouge just started that program, like I say, within the last, 8-9 years. And there was a time period when I used to go over there, and I got some great players. One of my best teams I ever had here. We broke the school record in wins last year with Natasha Mack and Maya Williams and Perkins, Mia Perkins. But before that, my best team, I had 4 starters from Louisiana. At 4 starters from Louisiana. We did very well. But also, too, I ran into a lot of kids back then, too, that played great basketball. Coach, I'm waiting on Southern. I'm waiting on Grambling. Like the respect for those schools like Southern and Grambling, outside of the big boys like LSU, the big guys like LSU, that their alumni base is strong. And I ran into some places where those influences from those teachers on those kids where they wanted to go, they would pass up. Nah, coach, I'll walk on, or I'll just go to school over there. So a lot of that was happening, I think, back years ago. And like I said, that's not a bad thing. I don't mean that. There's no way negative. Those kids just wanted to go to school there. And then, so if you say junior college, there was nothing for them to relate before Baton Rouge started, before LSU Eunice was going. There was just nothing those kids to relate and to see. And so I think that's starting to change a little bit. So they're seeing a little bit of those programs be successful. Mississippi's coming over in there and stuff. So I think the access, though, to game, people stream. Our job as junior college to stream our games online so kids can watch these games. Us being able now to send games to those kids and see our product I think is huge for us to help them to see. You'll be amazed the number of kids that email you, though, and say, Coach, I want to play college ball to play for your program. Have you ever been to a college game? Nope. Well, that's weird. You want to, you've never been to a college game, but you want to play college basketball. So, but I think now the exposure now has helped these kids, and they just need to continue with the huddles and the Instagrams and the highlights and stuff. It's easy for a kid. There's no excuse for a kid to, if they have those avenues, they can push themselves. And today, this coronavirus, they better be pushing themselves and stuff. We've had to be creative now. We're doing virtual tours and filming our campuses for these kids so they can see what we got, because right now they can't visit. But I think it's important that the level of play has picked up in Louisiana itself with the Southerns, Shreveports, the LSU Eunices, and the BRCCs has helped everybody now. And I think those kids are seeing, hey, there's some high-level basketball within the state, and then also, too, outside the state, where at one point, I think there were Louisiana, some kids didn't know what junior college was.
Yeah, no doubt. That's great advice, man. That's definitely from an outsider standpoint, like you said, living it. I agree with you wholeheartedly. We talked to some junior colleges from the other side of Region 23 that were in Mississippi, and, they got 15 junior colleges, so everyone's aunt, uncle, somebody in the family, like you said, has gone there. So it's not a bad thing. Whereas, like you said, the alumni here is mostly coming from a D1. So that's kind of what they know. That's what they're used to.
That's what they know. Exactly. That's what they – and like I said, I think it's better now because, again, the internet, Instagram, Facebook, there's more to see. But before that was huge 10 or 12, 15 years ago, it was hard to be like, what's a junior college?
Yeah.
You walk over there and they'd be like, nah, I'm going – I just go to school before I do that, because they just didn't understand what the product was. And now the better players coming through these ranks, and you get to see, when I get to show kids a kid like Natasha Mack, oh, that's a junior college player. Yeah, there's players everywhere that can play and stuff. So it's our responsibility to put a great product out there for those kids to see also.
Yeah, cool, man. Is there anywhere, you talk about social media a lot, is there anywhere that the kids, parents, coaches can follow you guys, your program? Are you personally on social media?
Yes, we're on social media. You just go to our website. I think it's Angelina. I know it's angelina.edu. I think you can find us on Twitter, like an Angelina, women's basketball. I think on I'm not sure what it is. My sister coach runs our media. He runs our media.
No problem. I'll pop it up on the screen for you.
I think I appreciate that. Appreciate that. We have to continue to be tech savvy. So technology's running past me a little bit. But yeah, we're on Twitter. But you just type in Angelina College. women's basketball. You'll pop up. We've been posting highlight videos of our kids here for the last couple of days. So kids out there want to see our products there. My assistant coach has done a fabulous job of getting our highlight videos out to schools and just having a highlight. But we did it for sophomores that have already committed. You know, they want to be able to see how they did. So definitely go out there and watch those things and stuff. Just do a search, Angelina College women's basketball. You'll definitely run into it. Or find me, Byron Coleman.
Cool, man. Well, Coach, again, appreciate it. Again, everyone for watching, man. Thank you, guys. We're looking
Thank you, man.
More college coaches on here for you guys.
Well, thank you for doing what you're doing. That definitely helps. And I've been keeping up. We haven't spoken, but definitely I've been keeping up with your stuff on the other end on Twitter. So appreciate what you're doing for the kids and stuff. And, they're getting a lot of publicity and a lot of free pub, off of you. So just, appreciate that. What you're doing, it helps make our job a lot easier too on our end.
No doubt, man. It takes a village, man. I appreciate everyone being a part of the village with that. If you need anything my way, Coach, reach out, let me know. And everyone watching, thanks.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it, Coach. You need anything, man, holler at me.